Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to this exploration, flip through, walk through, whatever you want to call these types of videos, I can never decide, of the Star Spinner Tarot with artwork by Trungles. Okay, so I did anti-haul this deck some time ago. I don't remember when. If you happen to know, feel free to share with the rest of the class if you want to call me out. I just kept getting really curious about this. There's some really wonderful things about this deck that just keep catching my eye, and I really wanted to check it out for myself in person. Let's just dive in, because I feel like I initially anti-hauled this because I'm like, I don't really need another kind of cutesy, pretty, kawaii, and then I'm like, what am I saying? What am I even talking about? That's literally my aesthetic. So let's just get into it. So I don't know a lot about Trungles. This is my favorite type of tarot box ever. It's where it has a magnetic clasp here, opens all the way out. I love that. I love that we have a little scene here. I love the sort of curvaceous, I'm assuming that's the world card on the inside of the box here. I love this. Anyway, okay, let's get into it. My voice is raw because I've been filming today a few videos, but I just really, it's like I don't let myself play with these until I've done this part, so I tend to do a few of them at around the same time. Anyway, there's a little guidebook, a nice ribbon lift out. I love all the colors on the inside of the box. So pretty. We'll get into the guidebook later. Let's close it up. I do love that soft kind of mauvey, pinky, purpley sort of color that's accenting everything. That's lovely. And there's some shiny aspects on the box, some like spot gloss areas. I love it. And a little bit of almost hollow looking in the letters of the Star Spinner. Fun. So let's read what it says on the back. Let the stars light your way. Enter a world where fairies play, mermaids yearn, and threads of the familiar and fantastic are spun together to guide you on your own personal journey. Featuring beloved comic artist Trungles' enchanting illustrative style, the Star Spinner Tarot reinterprets classic tarot imagery for a more inclusive deck with multiple lovers cards. Oh, that's cool. I feel like I remember that. To reflect a range of romantic expression and illustrations drawn from stories, myths, and fairy tales. I think one of the things that initially held me back from getting this deck is I don't think the guidebook gets into the stories or fairy tales, and so I really want to look at this deck at face value, like what do I think of the actual artwork, more than trying to associate it with the fairy tales. I do have other decks I can do that with. Where it's obvious, I'll probably jump on it, but I feel like I remember there being an issue where it's not explicit, so yeah. Oh my gosh, these backings. They're almost like metallic-y mauve. I love that. That's so pretty. Okay. And there's no copyrights or words on the back. Good job. And this is a Wiser Books, I believe. Yeah. Oh, no, sorry. Chronicle Books. This is a Chronicle Books publication. All right. Let's flip them around, zoom in, and take a look at the cards. Okay, so we have our Fool. He's perfect. I love him. The colors, we'll see if I end up liking this kind of monochromatic, because he's all yellow. Like his clothes are yellow, his hair is yellow, his skin is yellow, everything's yellow. And I'm pretty sure that's kind of the style of the whole deck. So we'll see what I think about it as I go through. So we have the Fool, Magician. He is doing the as above, so below. Love that. I love all the cards flipping around over his head. He does look very magical. The titles on the cards are like really small. It's fine, but like they're small. And we also have the number, I just realized, up above. So we have the 0 down here in the title, and then we have 1 and the Magician. The High Priestess. Oh, I really like her. There's this like Argyle pattern in the front. It's fun. She's got the triple moon on her forehead. Oh, pretty Empress. Emperor. I love him. He looks very in charge. Hierophant. Yes. Oh, it's Lover's Time. Okay, so this looks like a masculine, feminine card. Then we have 2 male or masculine figures. We have another, so this one looks like another sort of heterosexual lovers. I think I like this blue one quite a bit. I love the heart that they're creating together. And then we have the 2 females who are both very feminine. Gosh. You know what? Oh man, I don't know what to do. I think actually, you know what? Between these 2, I actually kind of like this one the best, even though this one is the same-sex couple or the same-sex female couple. I just really like the shape of this and the fact that they're creating something together. And there's like this offer and they almost create this gateway. I like the design of this card a lot. I think I'm going to, for now, keep this one in the deck and put these ones to the side. The Chariot, I love that it's cats. I love that it's 2 cats. That's awesome. Oh, this is lovely. Fortitude, for strength. And we have both of them sort of facing the same way. And there's this tenderness and softness. The Hermit. Wheel of Fate. I love that they're kind of being tumbled around. That's very much the feeling of the Wheel of Fortune. Justice. Yeah, this deck has a really cool sort of world it's built for itself. And you really kind of get into it pretty quickly as you go through the cards, I think. The Hanged Man. Death. This is beautiful. Wow. Temperance. The Devil. Ooh, I love all this binding happening. That's cool. The Tower. Again, we see these kind of cards, which is interesting. It kind of makes me think of a house of cards that's been torn asunder. It's an interesting tie-in to the Magician card who was building, right, with the cards. So we almost have this like building of the cards and then the tearing down of the cards. So you kind of see the journey of the Magician here, which I think is really cool. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know if that's intended, but that's what I'm seeing. The Star. Pretty. The Moon. The Sun. I do wish, and maybe one day, but I do wish that there was a, again, from what I have seen, I'm pretty sure this doesn't reference the stories, but actually let's just check, so here's the Sun card. Let's just see. So we have the Moon, the Sun. So it says, the sun augurs a moment of sudden illumination. Truths are plainly observable, and there is joy and relief. The sun brings warmth and potential for growth as new patterns and habits are cultivated. This is a time to acknowledge and celebrate what makes you brilliant. And then there's a reverse meaning as well. I do really like that. I think the meaning is great. But I wish it told us more about why this card is illustrated the way it is. That I feel like is really disappointing about what I'd seen about the guidebook before. And I think that was ultimately one of the reasons I decided not to buy this. What brought me back into it though was the artwork. And so again, I think if I just take this as at face value and don't try to place too much of the situations with particular stories or anything, I think I'll enjoy this deck more. Pretty world card though. I love that. The figures in the 4 corners to me feel a little less intentional than they are in other decks. I want to see typically the 4 cherubic beasts in the 4 corners, the 4 fixed signs. This one's a little less clear to me. Ooh, okay, so we're kind of color-coded. It looks like we're kind of yellowy through the wands. Were the majors color-coded? No, they were like a mix. Yeah, they were a mix. So we have, this literally looks like a fairy wand. It's cute. Two of Wands. Love it. It's like she's high up, kind of making her plans. The 3 of Wands. We're setting out on our adventure. I like the little fairies. It's so cute. 4 of Wands. The 5. This looks more like, to me, a 5 of Swords kind of scene, or even like a 5 of Cups kind of scene. It's too bad we don't have another figure interacting with this, but you do see that disruptive energy. It just feels a little bit more like there are hints to what's happening in the story here, but it does feel a little bit more Pippish through this suit so far. So we'll see. There's the 6. I like that a lot. This looks like the same tower, actually, as what was in the Tower card. Yeah, look. It's the same tower, which is super interesting. Huh. That's very much Peter Pan and Tinkerbell. And the 7. This one's very explicit, I feel like. The 7 of Wands. It does work. That's cute. For the 8. I do like the color because I feel like when you lay the cards out in a spread, you'll be able to tell which suit is which is nice. The 9. Oops. And the 10 of Wands. Those are a lot of tangled up plants to take care of. I can see it being overwhelming. Then we have our Page of Wands. This seems like another nod back to Peter Pan. Kinda. The Knight of Wands. The Queen of Wands. I love her. She's gorgeous. And the King of Wands is a crow or a raven. That's super interesting. I'm going to set the king aside. I'm just curious about that. Ooh, we're in the cups. Okay, this is my favorite suit, typically. So we have a mermaid here looking into a cup for the ace of chalice. It's chalices, not cups, but same. Oh, I love this. And this actually really mirrors to me. And maybe that's why. Yeah, see, it's the same kind of idea. They've got a heart between them. I love that. I like the body language in this card a lot. The 3, aw. The 4, yes, we got a wistful feeling. The 5. And I know that these cards seem to be based on The Little Mermaid. I'm trying not to think of it too, I'm trying to take it at face value and not dig too deep that way, but you definitely see some grief and separation happening here. The 6 of Cups. Wait. Yeah, that's right. The 6 of Cups. The 7. The 8. I think this is one of those decks I'm not going to really know how I feel till I work with it. It'll be interesting to see if I was originally right to anti-haul it or if I should have gotten it, but it is really pretty. I'm definitely appreciating the artwork. The 10. Aww, she's got a little puppy friend. You can really hear my voice going, oh my gosh. The Knight. The Queen, that is a beautiful card. And the King. So yeah, the kings seem to be like beasts. Here we have our swords. So we have the Ace of Swords. The 2. Yeah, this feels it feels like an art deck. It feels just slightly disconnected from the tarot, just a little bit. Like not in any like deal breakery kind of way, but I definitely feel like this is a deck. I feel like you get this because the artwork is pretty and cute. You know what I mean? And at least that's how I'm feeling right now. We'll see when I work with it. The 4 of Swords and the 5. See, I feel like almost like the scene from the from the 5 of Wands would be better suited here, almost. 6 of Swords, that's very Rider-Waite-Smith. And the 7, same deal, very Rider-Waite-Smith. The 8, yeah. It feels like it's going to be really readable. We'll see as I shuffle it and kind of pull out some cards. Here's the 9 and the 10. Interesting that looks like a phoenix. Then we have the Page. It's so funny. This art looks like less finished in some way. Maybe it's just me, but it feels like it's a little less finished feeling. That's the Page. The Knight. The Queen. Oh my gosh, she's like chewing on a rose. And the King. So here's another animal. I'm going to definitely look up the kings. I'm curious. Here we're in the coins or the pentacles. So it's coins in this deck. So we have the Ace. The 2, a very Rider-Waite-Smith scene. The 3, Genie in a Bottle, very wish-driven, which is an interesting choice for the 3. I would have gone more towards like maybe the 9 of Cups for that kind of energy if I was going to put like a Genie kind of energy into a deck. Again, these are just what I would do. I don't know, but you could definitely see this as a collaborative type of energy for sure. The 4 of Coins, the Rapunzel energy here I think really works for the 4 of Coins for sure. There's definitely that idea of like protecting what's mine or protecting my resources. From the perspective of the witch in the story, for sure. The 5 of Coins. The 6. Oops. The 6 of Coins. This almost reminds me of like a Cinderella moment where she's granted some help. This is the 7, the brothers and the swans. I know the story, but it's been so long since I've read it. I think these are nettles around her. Yeah, 'cause she had to like weave nettle shirts or something. I can't fully remember what the situation was, but that is like a Grimm's fairy tale, I believe. In the 7 of Cups. Whoa. Okay, this dude does not look like he belongs in the rest of the deck at all. So we have this like modern clothing, but everywhere else in the deck is all very like fairy tale and medieval. So like, what's with this dude in the pants and the belt and the tie? I don't know. I don't think I like that. It feels very out of place. Darn it. I hope this deck ends up working out for me. But that gives me some pause for sure. I do like the concept. Okay, let's back up. Outside of the fact that it breaks the immersion of the world that we've been in, the idea of time and looking at the clock or watching the clock in the 7, or excuse me, in the, wait a minute. I thought that was the 7. No, this is the 7. And also, we're in the cups. No, we're in the coins. Okay, sorry. I need a minute. I need to reorient myself. So the 7 of coins, these almost feel like they need to be swapped in a way to me. So the 7 of coins is where we have the assessment of like what we've done and how the results will be. And I don't know that this image gives me that feeling. This one though, the 8, yes, we're perfecting our work. So if he's a clockmaker, I guess this makes sense. He's like examining the work he's done and he's doing a lot of the same thing over and over again. But that watching the clock energy for me is so much more 7 of coins. So that kind of annoys me a little bit, this card, but we'll see. Then we have our 9 of coins. This is very Rider-Waite-Smith, so that works. The 10, also Rider-Waite-Smithy. Page. Oops. Knight. Queen, I love her. And king, we have another creature. So a couple things I want to do. Let's zoom out a little bit. So the first thing I kind of want to do is just take a little flip through and pull out the cards that I feel like don't really illustrate for me the Rider-Waite-Smith meaning of the card without knowing whatever story is associated, like where the artwork kind of goes off in its own direction. And then we'll maybe take a look at the guidebook for those cards. Okay, so overwhelmingly, I would say the vast majority of the cards I feel like I see the Rider-Waite-Smith meaning pretty clearly in the artwork. There's only really a small pile in addition to the kings that I kind of want to question. So this, unfortunately, there was 4 of them in the coin suit. And then 1 of the swords and 1 of the wands cards throw me a little bit. And then the 4 kings, which I want to take a look at. So let's take a look at the coins specifically, since there's so many of them. And we'll see what the guidebook has to say. And then I'll see if I can form some opinions based on that. So let's start off with our 3 of coins. So in the 3 of coins, it says your collaborative relationships are in a very good place. The 3 of coins indicates that your work environment is healthy and that you're in harmony with your colleagues. Everyone's input and respective fields of expertise are valued. This bodes well for the implementation of fresh projects and the pursuit of new opportunities. Together, you have the chance to make your wishes into material reality. Okay, for a minute there, I was like, it's not even addressing the artwork at all. It does loosely tie in. It says, together, you have the chance to make your wishes into material reality. So that's the only thing that really ties in the genie. I mean, that could have been done better. I get what they're saying, but I would have liked to see another figure. Like if there were 2 figures here with the lamp, then that whole working together to make your wishes real would have made more sense to me, but that's my take on that. Let's take a look at, oh wait, yeah, this is the 5 of coins. So it says the 5 of coins signifies difficult times ahead. You may have suffered a major financial setback, like the mirror is broken. Your dire circumstances are compounded by the accompanying embarrassment and isolation, and you feel as though you must confront your problems alone. You may find it difficult to face yourself, and for reasons you do not fully grasp, it is difficult to seek help. Okay, the guidebook really, really works. The idea of isolation, the idea of having a difficult time facing yourself, ties in the artwork beautifully without me feeling like I need to know the story, if that makes sense. That's what I want, really. Let's take a look at the 7 of coins. So I'm pretty sure this is that one where her brothers are all turned into swans and she has to knit nettle shirts. Anyways, so it says, you are at a point where you want to make long-term investments. You have mastered your daily grind and you have the freedom to step back and plan where you might best invest your resources. The 7 of coins encourages you to look at the big picture and spend time cultivating your resources responsibly. Like, that doesn't really tie in with this imagery at all. I wish they'd have had some kind of a tie-in, because if I don't know this story, and I'm going to look it up, but if I don't know this story, that ceases to have as much meaning for me, which is unfortunate, because I want to be able to just kind of pick this up and read with it. I wish I could remember. It says in the reverse, though you are currently financially stable, you are impatient with your progress. You may be tempted to overspend or invest your resources too hastily. No matter how much work you put in, you find yourself a sleeve short in the end. Okay, there it is. Oh, right, because I believe that's what happened with the story. She was knitting the nettle shirts and she didn't have enough nettles to finish the 7th shirt. So she didn't have the sleeve completed. So it says, the reverse 7 of coins warns you to take more time to analyze your prospects and check your impulses. Do not be pressured into making hasty deals. So there's something there that, like, I feel like needs to be, yeah, you kind of have to know what happened in the story for that visual to make sense at all. Now, it would be worth it for like 1 or 2 cards, and really there isn't that many here where I feel like it's not immediately apparent what's happening in the card. So I'd be willing to do the extra little bit of work for this card, probably. And then we have my disjointed here, 8 of Coins. The 8 of Coins indicates that you should be reaching new milestones in your professional development. It is about committing to learning and mastering your craft. Now might be a good time to seek out further educational opportunities that make you more professionally viable. Remember to invest in yourself. Let's see. In this position, the 8 of Coins might mean you are feeling restless and professionally stagnated. You have more to offer and you are willing to put in the work. Unfortunately, the right opportunity is not currently aligned with your desire to move up. The work that you do to further your development seems tedious and unsatisfying. Yeah, this just feels so out of place with the rest of the deck. I just kind of bums me out, but like, it's fine. Like it's really very Rider-Waite-Smith, if I'm honest with myself. It's more of that repeated work. So I didn't really need to put it in this pile. I was just curious if it said anything about why. Why the artistic choice there. And then the 5 of Swords. This is actually pretty fine. I'm just curious. So this one says, the 5 of Swords warns of those who seek to exploit your lowest moments. This is the card of betrayal and malevolent rivalry. An embittered conflict brings out everyone's worst and most desperate impulses. Victories are achieved through unscrupulous means. You may compromise your morals to suit your ends. Okay, that works. And finally, the 5 of Wands. The 5 of Wands represents chaos and tension. There might be some compelling disagreements in your life, and nobody seems willing to compromise. A disruptive new element has entered the fray, and a tenuous period of harmony has been disturbed. This need not be a negative thing. This great discord may help you better understand your ideals. Difficult conversations are being had, and issues can be confronted up front. Okay, that kind of works. I feel like this is probably like a Tinkerbell freaking out pouting moment from Peter Pan, maybe. I don't know. I could make that up. But so I do think that for the most part, the guidebook is giving meaningful messages. It's a little annoying that you can't fully see it in the artwork in every single card. And I wish that there was a deeper dive guidebook that got into all of the stories that are represented in the various images. Because clearly Trungles had inspiration for these various scenes, and I'd love to learn more about that. Let's take a look at the kings. So we have a raven for the King of Wands and a little songbird for the King of Swords. We have a dragon for the King of Chalices and a bunny for the King of Coins. Now, without getting into the guidebook, here's my opinion on this. The bunny for the King of Coins totally works because, of course, earthly suit bunnies, it makes sense. The songbird for the King of Swords totally makes sense because, of course, birds, element of air, it makes sense. These two don't feel quite right to me. I don't understand why the dragon isn't the King of Wands, and I don't know why a more watery creature isn't the King of Chalices. So let's take a quick look at these two in the guidebook. So the King of Wands thrives under pressure. He is at the helm of every new project and relishes in the duty and responsibility of that leadership. He's goal-oriented, big picture thinker, follow his lead. Nothing about why he's a bird. I want to understand this card better. Does anybody have any take on the King of Wands being basically a raven or a crow? I don't. It feels so arbitrary, which is a little annoying. Okay, so King of Chalices as the dragon, which just bugs me. Like, it's such a fiery creature for the cup suit, but let's just see. King of Chalices. The King of Chalices represents patient, compassionate stewardship. The king is intentional about addressing strong and unruly emotions with great sensitivity and care, and guides you towards emotional maturity and level-headedness in trying times. Your decision should be predicated on warmth and generosity. Now, this is a different kind of dragon. It's not a Western dragon. It's an Eastern dragon. And this could be pointing at my lack of knowledge of Eastern dragons. But I don't understand the water suit correlation here. It could have to do with the whole wise, patient leader kind of energy, whereas the raven could speak to more of that sort of charismatic, kind of cocky energy of the wand. So I can make a case for it, I suppose, but I'd like to understand it rather than just have to make a case for it, if that makes sense. So these kings are not my favorite. And I would say, so out of the deck, if I had to pick, I'd say... Did I already shuffle these? I must have absentmindedly shuffled them. I don't know. So let me do some thinking on this. Let me shuffle it. I don't know. I'm on the fence a little bit. I do think the artwork is really pretty. But I'm not sure that this deck, I don't know. Let me just lay out some cards and see. What do I think? They do look pretty on the table. I don't know. You guys, I don't know. This one will remain to be seen. I can't tell. Like, I really was drawn into the artwork, but I'm just not sure if this one is really going to be my deck or not. You know what I mean? You ever have that feeling? You're like, I don't know if this one's really for me. So that's what we'll remain to be seen. I would love to hear your guys' thoughts about this deck, and especially about any of the cards that I struggled with a little bit. I would love to hear your perspective on those in particular, because maybe you'll see something I wasn't seeing, and I'm sure there's lots of meaning. I just feel like it's not necessarily addressed in the guidebook, which is a beef for me. So yeah, let's give it a little fan. That, my friends, is my little journey through the Star Spinner Tarot. As always, like, subscribe, click the bell, do all the good things. Thank you so, so much, and may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye, guys.